Happy Monday, my gurus. I finally managed to sort out the free the free to paid platform, so I can now record for as long as we need, which is fantastic because there is a lot to cover going into the new week. There's a few things that I think we need to be aware of, a few indicators that I think we need to take a look at, and a few of the time frames that I think we need to spend some time on separately. So what I'm going to do is, before we get stuck in, I'm going to just quickly show a really important indicator on a very high time frame, so we can sort of see where we're at and sort of gauge what the picture is going to look like for the next couple of weeks, potentially the next month or so, something along those lines. So basically what we're looking at here is we are looking at the weekly view. So every one of these candles here is obviously representing a 7-day period. And the indicator that I've overlaid here, which is this sort of band that keeps following, is known as the bull market support band. And basically what it does is it tracks multiple different things, from RSIs just to volume, on-chain analysis, and multiple different indicators as well, to sort of see where the price is at. It also ties into sort of the fair value. There's an indicator called the fair value band as well, which sort of gives a general indication of where Bitcoin is at in terms of fair value. Unfortunately, we are now below the bull market support band, and in order for anyone to really start adopting some sort of bullish outlook and get really bullish about where we're going, we'd have to be well above this. You can actually see what happened the last time that we dropped below the bull market support band. We obviously entered into that sideways market, and it took quite a fierce effort to get us back above. We came back here, tested the bull market support band again, and that gave us the all-time high. So we're probably going to be entering a similar sort of period, something like that. I don't see us going lower than these levels here. This is 40k, so I mean, I really don't see us getting lower than 40k here. This is 42. This is where the last wick sort of left us off. But yeah, that's pretty much the way it seems to me. It's looking like we're going to have, be under the bull market support band. This will probably continue to do something along those lines, something like that, and that'll allow us to obviously eventually come back up here, test, and then move on forward. When that's going to happen is anyone's guess. I think most of the market believes it's going to be around Jan. Jan would make sense because, like we've said a few times, the institutions love getting in Jan. Basically what happens is end of the year comes around, traders close their positions, offices get closed, institutions close up, and then when they come back in, they obviously need to make a statement to all of their stakeholders by sort of laying out what their plans are for the year, and obviously making good on those investments. Now I can almost guarantee that those investments are going to include crypto, they are going to include Bitcoin, and they're definitely going to include sort of investments in and along the sort of metaverse type theme. And I just think that that's the case because, when we zoom out and we come out of this sort of crypto bubble, the metaverse is happening. It's not just about blockchain. Of course, blockchain is going to enable it and crypto is going to be the currency of the metaverse, but this discussion extends far beyond crypto. And I think it's fantastic for crypto because a lot of people are, mixing the two, which is quite fantastic. I think it's also allowing a lot of the skeptics to now realize that this is way bigger than, some sort of fad or some internet funny money, albeit Mongoose coin exploding through the roof. But aside from that, it does seem that way. So that's pretty much what I'll be looking for over here. This is called the bull market support band. You can find it on the indicators. For those that don't know how to do indicators, it's at the top here. You'll see a little FX icon. You click on that FX and you can add your own indicators. Cool. So that's basically the bull market support band. That's on the weekly. Unfortunately, the weekly is still looking bearish. So it's almost a guarantee that we're looking at a sideways market until at least, this time next month, let's say, something along those lines. We did get, I don't know if you can see here, we did get a bearish indicator on the weekly over here, and this was obviously at the top, so that would have sort of been the first indicator that we're heading down for quite a while. But that's basically the long and the short of it on the higher time frame. The good news is that you can see, it's obviously consolidating. It comes here, goes below the thing, turns into support, goes above, goes below. We'll turn it into support. We're going to go above, go below. It's the beautiful thing about this is that I don't think we're going to have the normal cycles that we used to have. In the next update, what I'll do is I'll try and grab a snapshot of all the different cycles. Ben Cowan actually does this quite effectively, and you can sort of see how the cycles are changing. I don't think we're in this 1 year on, 3 years off anymore. I don't think that that's the case, simply because there's just too much money in the game now, and you've got to realize, I think, when we're dealing with these massive market caps like Bitcoin, it's becoming a lot more difficult to sort of move the price too drastically. But that being said, I do think that we are going to sort of hold these levels up here. Anything below this would probably come back down to 40 to confirm. Below 40 here would be I mean, at that point I think it's safe to say we'd probably be in the bear market that everyone's talking about, but I do not think we're going there. And it just doesn't seem that way for me. So I'm just going to quickly change up now to the daily. I'm just going to take us through all the time frames so we can also look at the moving averages and have a look now. Let me quickly just turn off that one. There we go. We're on the daily now. Cool. So now, as you guys saw yesterday, this one I was showing you with the moving averages. Remember, each one of these lines represents a different time period and price action over that specific period of time. It is unfortunately looking like we're going to go into a sideways bearish market for at least the next couple of weeks. We're probably going to be getting, let me just enlarge that there. We're most likely going to be getting this this cross that we've been talking about, which is this blue. It's basically just crossed. If I can actually just zoom in, let's have a look. Yeah, it's crossing. So I don't think we're going to get a bounce off this line. I don't think it's going to do that. I think we're probably going to get this sort of crossing down, this sort of crossing down, and if the orange one does cross the blue one, then it definitely means we're going to have some sort of a sideways market. I think there's no two ways around that. It's no secret. Is it time to sell? Again, it's definitely not, in my opinion. By the way, I need to make it clear that this video is not financial advice, but I personally would not be selling any of my positions here simply because we still have room to go before it sort of gets concerning. That line at around 41.542, and then obviously down at 40k. So I think that's sort of what needs to be looked at in terms of the moving averages. It's basically a waiting game. I think every trader can see it. I think everybody's sort of in the know now that we're pretty much just sitting and waiting. Unfortunately, the reason being is because there just isn't that much interest in the market at the moment with the way that the prices are. So there's no two ways around that. There's no real way to get around that. But yeah, I'm going to quickly just swap charts here down to the 4-hourly chart. If you just give me a sec, there we go. Just so sort of we can look at the intraday chart and see what's happening here. Look, in terms of this sort of blue path prediction, it would be nice. I think it would be fantastic to sort of see some, strength be shown in the market. This channel that's happening here. This green channel that's happening here should produce a bullish effect. In general, descending channels tend to do that. So I'd probably be looking for, a retest at the bottom here and then a push up out. It would still support the whole, sideways thesis. This whole range here would be considered the sideways thing. I think it would only be prudent to say we're bullish again above 52, above 53. This region here, we can say, right, we're bulls, we can carry on. And I mean, this is only scheduled to happen at around the end of Jan anyway. So as much as, as much as I want to trade, unfortunately, it just doesn't make too much sense to be trading the market at the moment, simply because it's very volatile. It's very sort of fickle at the moment, especially without most of the interest at the moment. And obviously, at the end of this week, all of these institutions are going to be closing their positions and closing their offices. So I guess we're pretty much being given an unwanted vacation from crypto. But I guess it's welcome. It's been quite a crazy ass year, but I will be keeping my eye on everything, and I will be keeping a close eye on this wedge to see how it happens. And then, see a test down here. Again, worst case scenario, we do get, some sort of a test to the bottom here. I don't see us coming back below this sort of yellow trend line moving up. But I'll be keeping a close eye on that and seeing how we fare. If anyone has any questions, as always, please let me know, and I'll be updating everybody as soon as we get more details on our other allocations, the Sidus and all of that. But I hope you guys all have a great day and a great week. And let me know if you have any questions.